Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking about ITRM once more, Iterum Therapeutics. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. If you would like to know a bit more about this one in depth, you'll find it in the description below in my previous video. This one I'll give you an update, especially how to trade this one towards the earnings coming up, and as well a part of it regarding their upcoming milestone, etc. Make sure to drop a like and let's jump right into this one. So coming up for this one, I covered this one a couple of times before. This is a pharma. It has different milestones coming up, and I'm not going to go through all these stuff, even though I did before. They have three main different products in their pipeline, or three different main phases. One of them including having to wait a PDUFA, potential NDA approval, and that's coming up sometime soon, and they do have it right onto here, an advisor committee for the second quarter for 2021 and a potential FDA approval for quarter 3 2021. These are some of the most important milestones that you can think of for this one, and a lot of people are anticipating this one, and once we get it, there's one or two things that might happen. We might actually get sell the rumor, spider rumor, sell the news, or as often with a lot of these stocks, they do see a little bit of a jump in price. But nonetheless, it's not about the price jump we're looking at. We're looking at the potential for, after it does get the FDA approval, it does go ahead through their pipeline, that they will have game-changing medications. For more about that, you'll find it in my description below in my last video where I talk about some in-depth about their products. But nonetheless, their earnings are coming up on March 12th, 2021. You do expect a new presentation to come on there, even though the presentation I covered last time, which is this one here, is updated in March, so just 10 days ago or so. And what we're expecting is an earnings call at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what we're seeing here is a release for the fourth quarter and full year of 2020. Now, taking a quick look into the company, their market cap is around $214 million. In terms of statistics, they don't even have the price over book, but you can take a quick look into price over book here on Finbiz and you wouldn't even find it. Price over sales is infinity for one reason. It's not really infinity, but it's a pre-revenue. Or if there's any revenue, it's very minimal because it's a pharma. So if we were to take a look in 2017, 2018, 2019, they've been always net negative. Net income is around, I would say, negative 70 million or so. And if you're taking a look in terms of quarters, they're averaging around negative 12 million or so. And they don't have any revenue because they're net pharma. Generally, they have been revolving around the same estimates, so generally beating or just missing it just slightly. And the current estimate for this one on the EPS, you're looking at negative 0.19. A part of that as well is the raising off some of the shares, etc. So it's not that they perhaps are doing better, so you need to take a quick look. For instance, in the last two quarters, they've done relatively around the same, but you see that the actual estimate, or the actual, went from 0.80 to 0.60, yet the net income has been exactly the same, and that's changing towards the number of shares available. So if the number is increasing, doesn't mean that they're just doing better. It could be that they're raising more shares into the market and into the flow. So that's something to consider. Now, in terms of institutional buyers seem to like this one recently, especially in the last three transactions. Versa Financials added shares, Summit Securities and Cetera added some shares. And that's definitely a bullish thing from towards the investments part from institutions. So now on towards technical analysis. If you haven't done so, please make sure to subscribe and leave notifications on. It helps my channel a lot. If you'd like to join my Discord and ask me more questions, you'll find it over there. It's totally free. It's a chat room basically. So on a 1 week perspective, we get to see that the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA. That's an amazing thing. However, this is a trading action zone where bullish reverses are likely. And you get to see it's a very sensitive place here. Below 138, it goes bearish, because it's below the 50 SMA, it's below the 30 EMA, and below the 10 SMA. And so what we need to look at here is basically an accumulation or it holding its support on the 1 week perspective around or above the 138. ADX doesn't show that significant reversal as a trend, and we're looking at willing percent R's shows that it's oversold. Momentum still looks bullish, and the MACD is retracting here, testing reversal sometime in the next couple of weeks. In terms of a 1 day, what we get to see here is things that might be looking a little bit better. It's more of an accumulation. It's not a tanking per se. The ADX suggests the potential of a trend forming. William percent R is taking a look at a little bit towards the oversold part. The MACD is a little bit stable towards the negative, although it is decreasing the negativity going on towards the positive side. So We're trying to test here a positive reversal. In terms of the momentum, what we're seeing is a negative momentum. But the chart tells us a little bit of something here. It shows that there is a very likely chance of it seeing a positive reversal after it does finish accumulating. So it's more of an accumulation phase right now. The 2 hours support this by everything almost being sloppy. Take a look at the momentum. It's almost zero. You're looking at MACD is almost zero. Willing percent R is right on the middle, around 50-40. And you're looking at ADX that is below 20. So it does support that almost everything is looking like it's trading sideways. Now, it's not only ITRM's fault. The market has been very, very shaky in the last few days. So keep that in mind. In terms of the moving average bands, this one is expected to trade on the Bollinger Bands, on the top 257 and the bottom 113. On the moving average bands, which are a little bit tighter, you're looking at 204 on the top, 185 in the middle, and 167 on the bottom. Currently, it's trading at 141. Stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both showing that, hey, this might be a little bit of an accumulation part, but it definitely has a chance to go up higher. And this is a trend line that it drew before. Now, for sure, I'm not going to blame this one saying, hey, it broke the trend line. Last week was pretty much of a bloodbath, so we'll ignore this one, we'll brush it right off. In terms of Fibonacci retracement, we're seeing a significant support line on the Fibonacci retracement at 105 and 45 cents. Significant resistances are 143, 173, 203, 246, and $3. Now we're going to just ignore that Fibonacci for a little, and we're going to go on with price line actions. We get to see that the significant support sits at 139. Below there, you're looking at 135. Below there, we're looking at 121, 114, 105, 91, 80 cents, and then down to 65 cents. Significant resistances, you're looking at 155, and then 182, and then up to 197, up to 215, and up to 237. Comes to the question to end, what do you think is going to happen here? Well, it is a pharma, so they're going to bleed through money quite a lot. And really everything is planning on or pivoting on their pipeline. If their pipeline is successful, this one will prosper. It most likely will get a revenue if they, or almost for sure, they will still get some revenue. I'm not saying that positive right off the bat, but it paves the way. And if they are net negative, or if the pipeline crashes, then one of two things can happen. One, they might have enough capital to restructure and go ahead and try again with a different product, and that's usually some pipe dreams as well. Two, bought out, and that's usually sometimes, or often not, it's a long shot. And even if they get bought out, they're bought out for pennies of the dollar. And then the third thing, which is everyone's hoping for, is that they actually go ahead, they get that everything they do need, the pipeline works for them, and they become net positive. And what you're doing is basically putting your hopes up and your eggs in this basket. Hopefully that it's not all your eggs in one basket, so make sure to keep a diversified portfolio, but they definitely have a shot. Their products are promising, and I'm very much rooting for them. What do you think about the ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. Have a wonderful day.